It's Don here from the board, and welcome to this video. Completely lost my chain of thought there to, that's right, thanks for coming along and checking out this video. Wow, what a day, filming this after a day of work. My wife's just having a bit of a laugh at me there. But you know what, that's just how life is. So, today is part 4 of the GNGKB75 Ergo keyboard. Now, you would have seen part 3, it would have been released, it looks something like this. You'll see it very shortly on the desktop. But the reason why part 4 has come along here is because I received the package in the mail, courtesy of Idyllic keyboards, which is, from what I've been told, a replacement set of the acrylic. I actually didn't expect that. My discussions with Idyllic was basically that, you know, I asked for some replacement layers because not all of the layers have issues. But Idyllic actually decided to send me a complete set. So that's what the communications was. So I want to say thank you very much, Tommy, for helping me out with this. You know, I offered to pay the right appropriate price for this, but Tommy said, you know, consider it in support of the project. So I really appreciate it. And in exchange for that, personally, you know, I'd love it if all of you guys who watch this, especially if you're interested in this board, to go and check out the Keyboard Treehouse and Idyllic made acrylic accessories for mechanical keyboards. There'll be a link to, I think, the creators and things like that. But you should be able to find the Keyboard Treehouse and check out stuff made by Idyllic. So let's switch cameras. It's been a long day. I do apologize. But that's reality of being a content creator. Sometimes you just got to fit stuff in wherever you can, whenever you can, between work and children coming home from daycare and stuff like that. So here it is. And a quick recap, if you've somehow found this video and you don't want to look at the other parts, everything functionally works on the PCB. There's just some parts with the case that didn't fit because the footprints on, for example, the caps lock is too tight. The key goes down and it doesn't come back up, right? And there was some misinterpretation of the layout, so we've actually got some blocker bits here because that shouldn't be a 1U position, it should be a 1.5. Similarly on that size, the backspace is meant to be a 1.5, and it was meant to be staggered out, kind of almost mirroring what's happening on the left hand side modifiers. So I've got this, and let's have a quick crack open. Now, it was meant to come via express post, as you can see from the actual label here, but thanks to COVID, it was not express. So, you know, what Idyllic did in trying to getting this to me as soon as possible, unfortunately didn't happen. So, yeah. But hey, that's everybody's suffering from COVID in all sorts of different ways right now. So, what can you do? What can you do? Right. Plenty of good bubble wrap and packing, so we can see that they've done a really great job in ensuring that this is going to get here in great condition. We'll remove the box, but hopefully in a way it won't be too much of a hazard for my wife. Maybe. Normally I try to film when nobody else is home so I can put stuff on their chairs and on their tables, but it was not the case today. Okay, hopefully if this all goes accordingly to plan, then this will be the last video of it. Wow, okay. So, there's the new cut case. We can see that the stagger is definitely there, and we've also lost the blockers down here. Everything else should be very much the same. And then there is the extra layer, I believe, there, so that space should be much bigger because what we saw was that the number of layers there was only 3 open layers, and now there's 4 open layers. So that should give us the clearance space for the actual USB cable to get in there safely without being pressured, and not pin contacts as well. And it means the actual tilting on this bottom won't be in contact with the actual Elite C controller, because that was the other issue that I identified, which was that you can see that there was a hole here in the bottom layer where the screw goes in, and it was actually shorting the pins on the Elite C. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just cut the video here, and you'll probably see a time-lapse bit of me putting it back in to that, and then we'll pick up from there. So see you on the other side of that time-lapse. Alright, so we are back. We're back after I finished assembling it. It's black in solid matte black, which I actually really like the look of. It's got the gold colored hardware on it, the brass hardware, I don't know, just that particular color, the yellow color to it, which I think stands out and it's quite striking, which is really nice. The reflection from the white light source is making that a bit hard to see. There we go, get a bit of focus on that. The cutout is much better, so now we can actually see that stagger, although I think might have overcompensated a little bit there. Personally, for me, I don't actually mind having that extra gap space. I know that some people would probably get a bit iffy about that. You know, if you wanted to bring that in maybe another millimeter and a half, you'd probably start getting into that sort of, oh, if you don't line it all up again, then it might not fit. And then, as I said, the footprint now on this side, that delete key should be a backspace, but I don't have a backspace key of that size, but the delete key fits in beautifully, and we can see that the alt and the control now on that bottom row fit in as they should. So change over the plates was really great, really easy. Now we've also got the extra layer that's happening here, so the cable has no issues of going in and being nice and comfortable fitting in that socket. You see, it's got plenty of space just with that extra layer involved there, so that's really great. Now I know this is just not really an issue for this build because I don't have any RGB lights on it, but as you can see, you know, we've got a black bottom, we've got a black top, we've now got the actual feet, and there's no issues in contacting with that. This layer of clear acrylic on the bottom means if I did actually install some RGB light strips or just some LED light strips, because the PCB does support that, I've got some pads that I've built into that, you would be able to get some of that edge light effect coming through. Naturally, if you had this case and it was set up so that the bottom half was clear acrylic, then you get more of that underglow effect as well. But I don't have those strips. I don't normally worry too much about that lighting effect, and so yeah, overall very solid. Like you can flex it, but you got to put a lot of force into this thing. It's a beast. Having the hex standoffs in there really helps, and like I can press that to make that flex because there's no post here, but it's stiff enough with this 3mm acrylic that it's not going to move on its own, and I have zero concerns about that bending or breaking whatsoever. The only thing that I found was I think the standoff height, because we've added the extra layer in there, the amount of thread that is catching from the screws is a little bit on the light side for me. What I did notice, and if you saw it a little bit on the time lapse, is that one side of the screws has a longer screw than the other side. If they were all the same length of the longer length, then I think that would be fine and it would give a bit better purchase. That just might have been an oversight more than anything else. So cable in, it works. I haven't done any extra practicing on this layout, so I can tell you right now my typing accuracy on this is abysmal. It basically just doesn't exist whatsoever. But I'm just going to crack open a browser off screen here. I'm going to put in, I don't know, what was I using before? Monkey type. There's backspace. I can't even type. There we go. Monkey type. No, I did not mean monkey pet, because obviously I cannot type with this still. What am I doing? What am I doing? Alright, let's just lift that and see how bad this is going to get. Reset the test. There we go. Ah. Wow, that was pretty abysmal. That was 36 words per minute with a accuracy of only 73%. That was pretty shocking. I don't know if you want to hear a little bit more of that sound, but I'm just going to unplug that and I can just spam that sound for you up nice and close. So that was just using the Novel Keys cream switches completely unmodified. So there's no lubrication. I haven't done any additional work to it whatsoever. Just cracking open some fava beans for the little one to snack on. Healthy, low salt, dry snacks. There you go. Family life, what can I say? Now that sound might actually be different to how it sounded before, because I don't remember if I was on the desk mat or not. But that's just indicative of what this sounds like. There's no additional dampening, there's no O-rings under the keycaps. Like I said, I didn't lube the switches, I haven't done any other modifications. So there you have it. That is now the final form of the GNGKB75 ergonomic keyboard, a Alice layout, an Alice inspired layout keyboard with a single rotary encoder press and turn support on the top corner there. If this is the kind of stuff for you, then yeah, check it out on the Keyboard Treehouse to see if it's going to be available. If we decide to go ahead with it because there's a lot of interest, then we might do a small run and see what it's like. I don't know what pricing is going to be like, because you know, everything that we've done right now is just prototyping, but the fact that the case now fits well, the PCB works, cabling has no issues, the feet now have no issues, I think this could be a go. This could definitely be a go. Right, that's it. It's a wrap. You know the drill. Couple of buttons down below. Do what you like. Comment below if you think this is the thing for you. Give us your feedback, give us your interest, and hopefully we'll see it on the Keyboard Treehouse very, very shortly. Well, thanks for coming along and checking out this video, and of course, as usual, until next time, happy clacking.